Hey, how's it going? It's Teddy from Dodds Insiders.
How you doing?
Doing well, thanks. So I was just thinking we talk a little bit about your career and then go into how this season went for you. Talk about 3x3U and then the future, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect.
Yeah. So first, what were your expectations when you committed to San Diego all the way back in high school? And did the school meet those expectations? Were your expectations met with this team?
Coming into San Diego, the history back in the day, wasn't exactly where we wanted it to be. The culture, wasn't where, the coaching staff wanted to come in. When I came in as a freshman, there was a new coaching staff. Lamont Smith had just gotten the job, and, it was really focused on just, trying to, create a legacy and build like a foundation for, what USD basketball, what he wanted to stand for. So, coming in, I knew like it wasn't going to be, we weren't going to be contended for a championship my first 2 years. And, clearly we weren't. I mean, we won 8 games my first year and 13 games my second year. But, I think, we did a good job of just building every year. We went from 8 wins to 13 wins to, putting together back-to-back 21 seasons. And, coming into college, my goal was always making it to the NCAA tournament. And, I wasn't fortunate enough to do that. But we were able to make it to the NIT this year, which was, USD's first NIT appearance in school history. So, I would say that, my expectations weren't fully met, but, I'm glad with where I left off. And, I'm proud for what all I've accomplished at USD. And I think, me and the other 3 seniors did a good job of just, building our legacy at USD and making sure that, we really helped build up the program and, created something that hopefully we can continue to keep going with these younger guys moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And you talked about starting with Coach Smith and then, of course, the coaching transition that had to happen for this season. How was that transition? And did you feel like the team met Coach Scholl's expectations this year?
Yeah, I think the transition was great. After Coach Smith was fired, all the players, really wanted to play for Coach Scholl. And I think us making the CIT the CBI last year, CBI, CIT, whichever one it was. I think us making it last year, really helped Coach Scholl get the job because we were able to prove to, the AD and, all the decision makers on who were going to select the new head coach that, we could play for Coach Scholl and that he was the right man for the job. So, I really think, Coach Scholl was a really good fit for our team. He really, with him as the head coach, he really, embrace the culture of, being a family. We were really connected. We were a really connected team. And, he made sure that I think he did a really good job of just making sure that we were prepared every game and that, through the highs and lows that we just took together. So, I'm really appreciative of Coach Scholl and all he's done for me. I'm going to continue to have a good relationship with him, beyond basketball, after college. He's a great guy off the court. I'm really happy to see, what he's going to do with this young group moving forward. He's got some good guys coming in next year, and he's got some good pieces left with him for next year. So it's going to be interesting to see, what he can do with, losing 4 seniors this year and trying to, kind of rebuild the team.
Yeah, so coming into this season, a lot of people were saying that you guys were maybe in the best position to fight Gonzaga for first place. And then it seemed like things started to unravel a little bit. And maybe people weren't thinking that you had that chance at the NCAA tournament. Was it the injuries that caused that? What exactly caused the 7th place finish in the regular season in conference?
Yeah, I think, the injuries were a big part of it. I mean, we started off with, Squirrel missed, I think, 3 games with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Then Isaiah Wright went out for 5 games with a broken wrist. And then as soon as he got back, I went down with a torn groin. So,
yeah.
I think that, it was just hard for us to really find our chemistry when we all finally got back together. But I think, what we did in the WCC tournament, I think that's where our true potential was. I mean, we made a really good run in the tournament and we just, unfortunately ran out of juice at the end. But, I think the injuries were definitely a big part of, our downfall in the WCC conference, finishing in 7th place. I mean, we all had expectations to be, a top 3 team and we clearly didn't reach that expectation. But, I think the injuries were a big part of that.
Yeah, so I want to talk to you about the game in San Francisco. I bet you remember this. You hit that deep 3 on the buzzer after a last-minute comeback. How big was that for your team? Because to us, it seemed like that was the game that put San Diego in the NIT and took USF out of the NIT.
Yeah, that was a big game. USF was having a pretty good season, and they were definitely going to be one of the top candidates for the NIT if they weren't to win the WCC tournament. So I think that was a really big game. I mean, they had a lot of momentum going into that game, and that was the kind of game that we needed. We were coming off a loss at BYU, and we were really desperate for a win. Trying to just build some momentum going into the tournament. So. That was a big shot just to, give my team a chance to be able to go in overtime. And, Isaiah Panera did a good job of finishing out for us in the overtime to help us get the win. So, that was a pretty big shot. And, that really helped us, gain some momentum to help us make that run that we did in the West Coast Conference Tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the WCC tournament, that game against BYU, a lot of people were saying that the performance by your team was the best performance by any team in a WCC game all season. In the WCC tournament, you led by 44, I think, at one point. Do you think that was that upside that everyone was talking about, where you guys really just clicked, having all your guys back?
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was an upset. I thought we were the better team. I thought we were the better team walking in a lot of games. But, that was a big game. That game was really a game where, we were just clicking on all cylinders. And it really started with Isaiah Wright. I mean, Isaiah Wright had absolute crazy WCC performance. I mean, I think he averaged about 20 points per game. And, he not only led us offensively that game, but, he did a really good job of guarding TJ Haws and, slowing him down and making sure that he didn't get off to a good start. TJ Haws really makes BYU go. And, when he was struggling, that really, caused them some problems. And him being able to do that really helped us get to that 44-point lead and helped us, get that win.
Yeah, so you get to Selection Sunday, and what were you guys thinking? Were you thinking you had a chance at the NIT? Because all the bracketologies put you guys in the CBI going into that day. So what was the reaction, and what did you guys expect?
It's actually crazy. A lot of us didn't think we were going to make the tournament. I mean, a lot of us didn't even watch the selection show. I was actually debating on if I wanted to watch it or not. And I was watching it, and it was crazy because I was watching all the teams get selected, and all the other teams have been selected, and they were putting up the last pick, and I was like, yeah, there's no way our season's over right now. There's no way we're going to get picked. And, we were literally the last team to get put into the NIT. Yeah. So, that was pretty crazy. But, like I said, we were really fortunate to make it to the NIT. We didn't get to get a win in it like we expected to, but, we were able to make history, and, hopefully, next year these young guys can, build off of these back-to-back postseason runs that we've had and can finally, break into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was the 3x3U tournament. You, Frankie, Isaiah, Roberto, you guys had a fantastic tournament. Did you think you had a chance at going all the way, going as far as you did going into that tournament? And how gratifying was it for you to go so far?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I saw our team going in. And I knew we were going to give team problems because we had 4 guys who could all shoot the three-pointer. And, we all came from schools where, we played an offensive game where it was a lot of movement, a lot of ball movement, a lot of passing. And, that in 3-on-3 is, what wins you games, ball movement and three-point shots. So, I knew going in that we were going to have a really good chance to win. And it was a great experience just to be able to go out there and, be able to play at the Mall of America and put on a good show in front of all those fans.
And what were the nerves like going into that last game? You guys lost it in a fairly close one, $100,000 on the line. What were the nerves like in that one?
The nerves were a little high. I've played in some big games before, so my nerves weren't that high. But man, I really wish I could have walked away with that $100,000. That Colonial team is really good, though. Justin Wright Foreman. He's a beast. He's a monster. Yeah. He was like second in the nation in scoring. So, they just flat out beat us. They were the better team. So, hats off to them. I really wish I could have had that $100K, but at the same time, I'm just grateful for the experience, and I was still able to walk away with some money in my pocket. So, all in all, it was a good experience, and I had a fun time out there.
Definitely. So, final question: what are your plans for the future? Are you going with basketball, or are you going a different route?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna keep playing. I'm hopefully gonna make a decision on who I'm signing with as far as agency. In the next upcoming week. But no, the plan is to definitely play pro and try to play as high as I can, whether that's in the NBA or overseas. That's to be determined. But I'm still planning on continuing to play basketball.
Awesome. So thanks so much for talking to me. We really appreciate it, and good luck in the future.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for calling.